I'm joined here today by Al Iaquinta, who's set to fight Justin Gaethje in a guaranteed barn burner at UFC Lincoln in Nebraska. Ragin, how are you today?
What's up, man? Oh, no, I'm just waiting for this. I couldn't hear you. What's going on?
Not much, man. So listen, obviously you're set to fight an opponent who likes to bang, likes to put on fun fights. So do you. What are your thoughts on him heading into this fight?
Great fight, man. Great fight. He's tough. He's tough. He's up there. You know, he's only fought the best guys in the UFC, and you know he's come up 1 and 2. All 3 fights could have gone either way. You know, there was points in each fight where it could have just small little things and little errors, little just little things made the difference in each one of those fights. So it's exciting. It's a headliner. It's a main event. 5 rounds. It's awesome.
And so I know a lot of people are excited about the matchup, but what do you think of the matchup?
I think it's a tough task. You know, he comes out. He throws hard leg kicks. He goes for broke in the first round. You know, he goes right for it. There's no feeling out process. He doesn't get anybody's timing down. He just tries to run through their timing, so I gotta be smart. I gotta fight a smart fight, a tactical fight. I don't want to take as much damage as the last 3 guys have. I want to make this look good. I want to make this look clean. And it's absolutely doable.
And so it seems this fight was having some trouble coming together. It took a little bit. Why did it take so long for it to come together?
They wanted to pay me the same for this fight that they wanted to pay me for Paul Felder. So Paul Felder would have been an unranked guy, a 3-round fight. And, people wanted to see it. It was a good fight, but it wasn't a headliner. It wasn't a headliner. They didn't want to put that on as a headliner. My stock rose after that fight with Khabib. I stepped in. I think a lot of guys would have stepped in there and kind of gone in there for a payday or gone in there to. But I fucking went for it, man. I went in there on very little training for him. I was training for a guy that was totally opposite, and I went in there and I hung in tough. I gave him some trouble. So I think my stock rose definitely with the fans. The fans respect hopping in there on a day's notice and taking it to the best in the world. So the fans are really behind me. I think the fans right now, I've never been so high in the fans kind of opinion. So I think that deserves, if I'm going to headline a 5-round fight, a title fight against the guy that's ranked, twice as high as the guy, I should definitely get a little more. It's added risk for me, and they're going to make a lot of money. So I think we got to work together. You know what I mean? It's definitely something where you got to work. We got to work together. It can't be me working and just getting the same. That doesn't work. Doesn't work for me.
And so, speaking of Khabib, obviously UFC 223, that was very crazy. It was a roller coaster for a lot of people, man. How crazy was UFC 223 for you?
That was the craziest weekend of my life, for sure. Thursday, freaking McGregor attacked the bus that we were on, I had no idea what was going on. I thought it was a terrorist attack for a second there. And, I'm trying to cut weight, and they got us detained because they want the cops to come talk to us about what happened. Then they ended up letting us go. So I had to cut, lost some time cutting weight. And still made weight, The next day was the weigh-ins. I weighed in. And then I found out that, Holloway was out. Pettis wasn't taking the fight. And I went on a hunt for Sean Shelby, and I let him know that I'm the guy. I'm the guy you want. New York guy, And then the night after that was the fight. So I ended up getting attacked on a bus. I had the weigh-ins. I ended up finding out that I'm fighting for, basically a world title. And then the next night I fight for the world title. Headline the Barclays Center, about less than an hour away from my house. Crazy weekend, crazy, emotions. I didn't sleep like that whole thing. Then like a couple days afterwards, my adrenaline just carried me through that whole week. It was, going 5 rounds. I'd never gone 5 rounds before, and I'd never trained to go 5 rounds, but we went 5 rounds,
And so, unfortunately, things didn't quite go your way in that fight. What do you think went wrong for you in there?
His takedowns were good in the second round, and it took me a little while to get used to it. I think I started pulling my leg out of there, and I defended a few of his shots. And he didn't want to expend too much energy because a 5-round fight, you can't really go crazy trying to get a takedown, because if you get tired, it's a done deal, So once I started defending the takedowns, I was just a little slow. I was a little behind. I was, the third round, for what I was training for, that's the end of the fight, the third round. And I still had 2 more rounds to go, so I couldn't really let go the way I wanted to let go. I was kind of trying to set him up for that 1 or 2 good shots, and I just couldn't get it done. I was one punch away from shocking the world, and it didn't happen this time. But I learned a lot. I learned that I can hang in there with the best guy without even really training for him. You know what I mean? So you put me in a training camp against that guy, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a real good fight.
And so obviously the weekend was crazy. The fight was on extremely short notice. Everybody was kind of having a debate on whether or not you should have taken the fight. Do you regret taking the fight at all?
No way. I think my stock rose more on that, on a loss to Khabib than if I would have went out and beat Paul Felder. So I think I definitely with the fans, the headline the show, and I don't regret anything about that. I gave it my all. I gave it everything I had. It was I remember being in the corner right before the 5th round, and I said to myself, this is it. I'm fucking doing this. And I went out there and I tried everything. I didn't leave anything back. I absolutely exhausted myself in that 5th round, and he caught me with a good punch. It messed up my vision a little bit, and then he ended up getting a takedown, and it ended ended there. But it was I proved a lot to myself. I held nothing back. If you watch the 5th round, I was going for it. I was going for broke,
And so fighters always mention they always learn more from a loss than a win. Obviously, this one, there's a lot of elements to it, but what do you take away from the fight?
Take away that I'm in there, man. I'm right up there with the best guys in the world, Didn't even train for the guy. I didn't do any defensive wrestling leading up to this fight. I didn't think Felder was going to take any shots on me, so I didn't really... I was training with wrestlers and stuff, but that wasn't... I didn't look at I didn't really break down Khabib at all. I had no time to do that. No time to game plan, try stuff, I just went in there and won it. Went in there, just let it out, let it all hang out.
And so when you're not a fighter, obviously you're working in real estate. Is it tough for you juggling your job and your fighting career at the same time?
It gets a little stressful, when I'm about to fight for a world title and freaking they're calling me up about, I don't know, something silly, But, it's all good, man. I'm learning something new. I'm learning, it's not taxing on my body. I'll tell you that. I'm meeting people. I'm learning new things every day. I learn something new. I'm with one of the best brokerages. I'm with the best brokerage, Home Smart Premier Living. Rich Rasmatini, guys, he's got the touch of soul, they say. Everything he touches just sells. So learning from somebody like that, you can't beat it. I got the best coaches in MMA, Ray Longo, Matt Serra. I got the best coaches in real estate. I'm doing all right.
And so, speaking of the other job, a lot of fighters, they always want to go into fighting full-time. They don't want to have, like, another job on the side and everything. Why do you choose to stick with real estate?
I found out a little while ago that it can all end like that. You don't have, no matter how much money you have in the bank, it's not as much as you think it is, and it disappears real fast when all you are is a fighter, and you can't fight anymore. I had I needed a knee surgery. I couldn't fight. My knee was absolutely destroyed, and I needed a knee surgery. And the UFC, wanted me to pay for more than half of it, and I wasn't able to do that. Going to the hospital that I wanted to go to, which is now a partner with the UFC. Kind of funny. But at that time, the hospital of special surgery was the most expensive hospital, and the UFC wasn't going to pay for it because the most expensive hospital is the best hospital, and that's the one I wanted to go to. So it took me about six months of convincing them that this is the right move before the Fertittas eventually paid for it. And during that time, I wasn't making any money, and then so it took a while for me to convince them to have the surgery. And then once I had the surgery, it took a year for me to recover. So you don't make money in a year and a half. My tax returns show zip. So that's it's dangerous. It's scary. It's really scary. So I remember being in a spot that I don't ever want to be in again. I'll never be in that spot again. I've got my health back. I'm fighting, and I got my real estate. So I got two streams of income, and it gives me a little bit of bargaining power with the UFC because they know that I'm not just a fighter and I don't need them. They need me more than I need them.
And so, coming back to your fight with Justin Gaethje, I know everybody was excited when the fight was announced. No, I'm still excited for it. Are you expecting a war just like we all are?
I'm ready for one, but I'm not expecting one. I'm ready for it, but I'm definitely not expecting it. I'm going in there to make this. The guys that go, this is going to be a war. What the heck is wrong with you, right? That's the best case scenario. You're going for a war. So the worst case scenario is you probably get knocked out really fast. You know what I mean? My best case scenario is I go in there and I make it look smooth. I make it look easy. I make it look simple. I make him look stupid, and that's what I'm training every day. That's what I train to do. It works out. Visualizing it, seeing it. It worked out in the Diego fight. It's worked out a bunch of my other fights. And then if you need to go to war, you go to war. But I really don't see that in this fight. I think I have a skill set. No one's really seen what I can do. You've seen what I could do. 5 rounds on a 3 rounds training camp. So 5 rounds on a 5-round training camp. It's gonna be a different story.
And so with someone like Gaethje, all his opponents, they come out of the fight, they've got bruises everywhere, they're hurt everywhere, they've got trouble walking. How do you prepare for a style like that, obviously without giving too much away?
You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I said, how do you prepare for a style like Justin Gaethje's, all the chaos and everything?
Yeah, he's, he goes for broke, so I got to figure out a way to neutralize that, He feels comfortable in that crazy mayhem of a fight. I gotta make it my fight. I gotta control the pace and the tempo. I think the last 3 guys have gone at his pace, and they were lucky to come out of it with the wins the last 2. But I think fight my fight. It's gonna be a different fight.
All right, man. So I just have one more for you. Thank you so much for the time. How do you see this fight playing out?
Smooth. I see it playing out smooth. Hitting whatever I want to hit when I want to hit it. Frustrating him, making him really guess every punch he throws, he's going to be guessing what I'm coming back with. You know, how I'm going to destroy his leg kicks. How, you know, he throws his punches and he's getting hit before he pulls his hand back. You know, as he extends his hand, he's getting hit. And, you know, moving around, make it look good. Make it look good. It's looking smooth. It's going on sale June 29th, I believe. Make sure you get to TicketMasterUFC.com. Purchase your tickets. Link in Nebraska. Let's go. Let's do this. It's going to be good.